Recently, I acquired my first Delta printer. It was a chance thing. I had a DIY printer build that was proving difficult to tune, so I was looking for a new home for it, and it happened that somebody locally had this big Delta printer, and we decided to do a swap so that we'd both get new projects to play with. So I brought this beast home and immediately fell in love with it. I then found out a week later that Anycubic had stopped making Delta printers, and I hurriedly picked up a second one while I could still get it new. So where did this printer even come from? In 2012, a gentleman by the name of Johann posted a Delta printer design, the Castle Mini, which became popular and has a proud standing in the RepRap community. Anycubic started making Deltas based on this design. First the Anycubic Castle, which is a straight copy of Johann's Castle Mini designs, then a bigger design that added linear rails called the Castle Linear Plus, and then finally and most recently a supersized Delta with major redesigns called the Predator. The Predator is Anycubic's largest Delta design. It's a flipped console design with all electronics and wiring contained in the top. This is a smart design that consolidates everything in one location and moves the electronics away from the heated bed. The frame is constructed from aluminum extrusions, including custom-shaped vertical extrusions that do a great job of hiding the motion system. And the top is finished off with steel side panels and an acrylic top panel. Inside the top, you'll find a Tri-Gorilla Pro closed-source mainboard and matching display, the motors and end stops, and a massive 1000-watt 24-volt power supply. Moving on to just below the top, you'll find a clone of the Lurge filament runout sensor, and the filament moves through that and into the flying extruder, which is held up by springs from the carriages, where a Titan clone and pancake stepper is mounted. Further down, you'll find the Predator's effector, which contains 3 fans and a V5 style hot end, along with a magnet to attach the leveling probe when it's needed. At the very bottom is the heated bed, which is a huge 380mm circular affair with Anycubic's excellent anti-base textured print surface, all mounted on a triangular panel. The first and main bad thing here is the mainboard. It will print fine out of the box, but the firmware is closed source and is poorly supported in the community. And what's worse are the built-in stepper drivers, which are an older model driver and are noisy and induce salmon skin effects on your prints. The other major downside on this printer is the V5 clone hot end, which is almost impossible to find replacements for, and to make things worse, has a unique longer heat break for this printer. Anycubic is kind enough, however, to supply an extra hot end. So with all the bads here, why would I still be excited about this printer? To answer that question, let's step back for a moment and imagine you're thinking about buying a big Delta printer. You total up the cost for the extrusions, printing or buying the console corner brackets, buying all the motion system with its carriages, belts, pulleys, motors, and end stops, and adding a nice big heated bed and a big power supply. That's going to cost a lot of money. And in the end, you'll still end up building a machine that is functional, but really isn't pleasing to look at. So you'll still need to fabricate some body panels and other things to make it look nice. Compare that to the Predator. Even assuming you throw away and replace the electronics and hot end and other things within the machine, it comes in a box with all of these great frame and mechanical parts for much less than you can buy all of it for, and it has a finished appearance with nice enclosed rails and panels. It's a really great base. So what about the electronics? Some people will just add TL smoothers and stepper dampeners as needed. In fact, the dampeners now come with later built Predators. But in my opinion, you should skip those band-aids and just replace the mainboard and display with Big Tree Tech's excellent SKR series mainboard with up-to-date stepper drivers and TFT screen. Print up a replacement front panel and mount for the board, and you can replace everything and be up in one evening thanks in large part to the Predator support group on Facebook, and specifically Chris and his excellent pre-built firmware and rewiring guide. Other smaller fixes can include improving cooling by printing a nicer part fan cooling duct, moving the filament runout sensor into the top where it probably should have been in the first place, and tensioning the arms a bit to reduce the play in them, which can be done with rubber bands, O-rings, or a set of small printed brackets and springs as shown here. These small changes I've outlined will result in a great running printer with quality that matches or exceeds anything in its price range, Delta or otherwise. Now, if you are an advanced printer nut like me and want to toss out the arms, effector, and motion system for something better or lighter or faster, you're in luck there too. There are high quality magnetic ball and socket arms available, and Duet 3D makes a replacement effector that has onboard lighting, a leveling probe, and heatsink, allowing you to run all of E3D's hot end families such as the popular Volcano. All the rest of the motion system is boilerplate standard motors, belts, pulleys, and many V-slot wheels, with lots of replacement and upgrade options. In the end, I believe this printer is a lot of bang for the buck, and with a little love can be a great workhorse for years to come. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'd love to see comments or a quick like to motivate me to do more of these simple videos. Thanks.